My crafty friends, it's Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel, Turquoise Dreaming. I'm here to work with wrapping paper today. Just kind of had a little urge to make some wrapping paper tags, and here's some I've already been working on. So I thought I'd turn on the camera and show you what I've been up to or what I'm doing, and also just give you a little update of what I've been doing during the week. So on my lunch break, 2 lunch breaks this week, I finished up the little greeting card notebooks, I guess you could call them. And they're all done as far as making them into little notebooks. So now I can put them in journals. But it was really fun to get them done. And I'm really happy that I got them done. And I did something with them instead of them sitting in my drawer like they have been for the last couple of years. And so they're all, if you didn't see that video, I did a video. And you can just go back a week or whatever it's been since I did that video. But I just took these little, really beautiful little vintage greeting cards. And they're the ones that opened up into 4. And wherever they folded, I cut the fold off. And so then it made 2, then I had 2 pages, because it opened up into, 4 pages or whatever. But so, and then I added coffee dyed paper, 2 pieces in between the front and the inside of the card, and did a 3 pamphlet stitch of matching embroidery floss. And there you go, cute little notebooks. So I decided that I'm going to, with each journal order, and it's going to, yeah, I guess pretty much with each journal order, these will go as a thank you gift with each journal that gets ordered from my shop. So just keep that in mind. If you would like to order a journal, you'll get one of these. And I have the envelopes that came with them. They're all naturally distressed in different shades of, as you can see here, pretty cool little envelopes. Look at this. This is really the most interesting one. It must have been on top. But these were in a box, so I don't really get why this one's like that. But like, it wasn't like the sun was shining on them or anything. They were in a box when I got them from the thrift store. Bottom and top cover. So yeah, I really don't get that, but maybe that's just how it works. And so yeah, those are all done. So I was glad to get those done. 2 lunch breaks. Boom, they're done. And then I also worked on, let me grab them, they're behind me. I had some little circles. This is an example, sitting around in my craft room. Little circles of whatever. Just, here's a little flower. And another little number. This is another type of number. So yeah, I just had these little circles sitting around in my craft room. I had put them away, and so when I was watching TV, I just decided to go ahead and do a few of them. I didn't get that many done, but I got these 4 done anyway. I have 4 more to add to my little key tag charm stash, which was, I used a few of them, and I only had a few, and I used a few of them, so I'm pretty much out of those. So this is a flower, in case you can't see what it is. Flower, 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 raccoon. So, but they're super cute, and I just left the black back. These were white. Just glued my little, I took this little circle off, this little metal piece, glued on the little circle, and then re-punched the hole, because now you've covered up the hole when you glue something on top of it, and reinserted the little ring. And you could reinsert anything you want. You could put in a bulb pin, you could put in paper clip, just whatever you want. I went ahead and reinserted the little ring, and then on top of that, I put a paper clip and add it to, a page, clip it onto a page with a paper clip. But really, you could just add anything you want, or add it onto anything you want, pretty much with that little circle on it, or whatever you want to put on it. So let's get started with our wrapping paper. So I had a hard time narrowing down what I wanted to do in my video today. That's why it's coming out a little late, and just had so many things I wanted to do, and I narrowed it down because this is to wrapping paper because this is what I really want to do. I haven't used any wrapping paper in a while. And this one I pulled out, or this one kind of jumped out at me because it's so pretty. So pretty. And so I already made a few tags out of this. And I'm using file folder to back them. I did use some little scrap ribbons on these too. And I pulled out some more to add to these 3 little ones here. So this was out of 1/2 of a file folder, like 8.5 by 11. But it was out of this size right here of wrapping paper. And that's because this wrapping paper is folded like this. And I just cut on the off the folds and used that piece. So let's add ribbons to these. And I pulled out some purple to go with this purple ribbon here. I don't know if I've used this before, and it's in its original bag, so maybe not. But yeah, let's just do. I did bows on these two, but let's do like just the regular little ribbon, loose ribbon topper on the other 3, and then we'll glue some more wrapping paper onto a file folder and see what we end up with and how they turn out. I'll show you the other wrapping paper that I pulled out too. I pulled out 3 wrapping papers, and I've gotten all my wrapping paper at thrift stores. So I even have been finding, I did buy some Christmas wrapping paper at Dollar Tree over Christmas, Christmas holiday. And I used that I wanted to make some tags out of that, but I don't think I did. I don't think I ever got around to it because there's so many Christmas crafts I wanted to do, Christmas, other Christmas paper crafts that I wanted to do. But anyway, I used some of it to wrap my orders, in. So that was nice to have that on hand. And it was really nice wrapping paper. Actually, I thought it was $1.25 when I bought it, and I thought there was a lot on there. And I thought, oh, this is a nice amount of wrapping paper for $1.25. And then I realized after I bought it that it was not $1.25. It was like $3.99. But it was really actually super nice wrapping paper. I loved the patterns on it, and it was thick and just, like I said, really nice wrapping paper. For $3.99, that still was probably a bargain. So, but anyway, the rest of my wrapping paper, I usually get from thrift stores, and I just used all of my Easter wrapping paper. It wasn't that much that I got, but I already used that in my orders, so I didn't get to make any tags out of that. But it wasn't very much, so that's fine. And then, and it was super cute. I thought wrapping orders in it, I think that's just fun to have wrap the orders in pretty wrapping paper or whatever, just something fun. Sometimes I've wrapped them in it. If I have a big book page, I have some books with big book pages. I've wrapped things in big book pages, so it's just fun to wrap things in something different sometimes. So anyway, you saw this one, and that was this wrapping paper here. So let's do another pattern. I kind of wanted to use up some scrap file folder before I dig into a new, whole file folder. Not new, but all my file folders are recycled. But let's cover these little pieces, and I want to cut off these score lines off of this one. And I was experimenting too with the tags I just did, that I just showed you with the flowers. I was experimenting with this new glue that I got. I want to make sure these are all rectangular, like not any weird shapes. These are all, this is a weird shape, so I need to do something with that. But the new permanent glue I got, I wanted to experiment with that and see how it did with wrapping paper, because I don't use Fabri-Tac on wrapping paper. I don't use art glitter glue on wrapping paper because it will kind of like wrinkle it and stuff like that. I need to square this off here. And this is just a scrap that I cut off of a file folder at work that had like writing or something on it, and I was just able to salvage this piece off of a file folder. So sometimes you just have to and it's not like I don't know, I just like tell myself, Sheree, you have enough file folders. You don't really have to salvage a piece like that, but I did it. I did it anyway. I couldn't help myself. So let's see. We have this long, narrow piece. Let's put a piece of this little puppy dog wrapping paper on there. Isn't it cute? Look at the little retro flowers on there. So I think if I cut on the fold like I like to do, let's cut a little piece, this little end off here. Oh, there's some scrap there, some trash. Yeah, so I'll have a fun Thrifty Thursday for you this week. I didn't think I was going to have one because I didn't want to go. I wanted to go, but I didn't want to go. But I wanted to get out because the weather was so nice this week. I wanted to get out of the office. I didn't want to be, like, I stayed in 2 days and crafted. That's how, when I did those cards that I showed you, the little card notebooks. But the other 2 days I got out because, I mean, it got up to, I think it got up to 78 one day, and 75, and 70, and 68. So I was like, oh, I gotta go and enjoy some of this warm weather, you know. So, all right, so let's see what we ended up with here. Super cute. Now I don't want to cut the doggies in half, so I think I'm gonna have to be a little strategic with this. Let's try to, I don't know. Okay, so as far as the glue goes, on those I used kind of partially both of my glues. And because this is my new permanent Scotch permanent glue that I love. It's been great on everything, but I don't know if it's great for wrapping paper, because I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or what, but it didn't seem to glue it down as good as the good old washable Elmer's glue stick. Like, I've always used this on wrapping paper, and it's always glued it down like really good. And I've left it for, I mean, I've made wrapping paper tags and left them in my stash for months or a year or whatever, and the wrapping paper did not come loose. So I was like, interesting. So, okay, I need to, okay. Let me see. I think I'm going to, I want to make this the size that I want it, and it's too wide. So let me cut a little bit off of this. Remember, this could have gone into the trash, so if I waste a little bit of this, it's kind of like almost doesn't matter, because really it should have gone into the trash, because I have file folders and I brought home from work, so so I'm allowed to waste some of it. All right, and so there's a fold there, but that's where the puppies are. And then we have these puppies over here too. So, and I can actually, you could fussy cut something like this too if you wanted to. Just a reminder. Okay, so see how it's, this little puppy right here is his leg. It's just his leg. So I'm going to cut, let's cut these puppies off right here, these black puppies. So maybe I can use them on something else and not cut through them. So there we have those. And then there's like a little puppy, piece of a puppy right there. Let's cut that off. So hard. So, yeah. And then these are just pieces of puppies. That's how it was, or that's how it is. Okay, so let me see. And now I'm going to cut off this top piece here. Just because I want to put my glue on here and not waste my glue putting it in places that I don't want. So that's why I'm doing this right now. Trying to figure out where my glue is going to go. Because I kind of want to put the glue on the file folder. All right, there we go. Let's get rid of those pieces. Now we basically, so we'll cut this probably, let's see. See, here's another, just a doggy head. So I don't want that. It's going to end up being a lot smaller than what we started with, but this is just the type of wrapping paper that it is. It's not an all-over pattern. So I think I can, see, I still need to cut off a little bit more here. I don't want to cut any more of my wrapping paper. I hope this makes sense. Like, you guys are saying, yeah, I would do the same thing type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to waste your glue. You don't want to have half a dog on your tag, or just the little doggy paws up there at the top or whatever. Gotta get the doggies on there, right? Little puppies. You want a whole puppy, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut this piece off after I get it on here, but I think I got it pretty much the shape that it's going to be. So it's going to be a tall, narrow tag. And this one I'm going to try. I've always, like I said, I've always used the purple. And normally, this is not the glue you want to use on things because it's not permanent. But I don't know what it is about it that agrees with wrapping paper. But, you know, maybe it doesn't agree with any other paper, but it does agree with wrapping paper, tissue paper, napkins. It really does glue those down. I've even glued napkin with this glue stick, this purple washable, you know, everyday kid glue stick, Elmer's. I've even glued napkin onto glassine bag, and it stayed like forever. I had it in my, I did a few of those and had them in my stash where I hadn't put them in a journal, in a, you know how it is when you have you make a lot of things and you have them in your stash for a while, like a year or something, and it just never, it was fine. It never came off. So, tissue paper, napkin, wrapping paper. That's the three things that this does really good. Now I am trying to get every speck of the file folder here, especially on the edges. So that will help if you get every speck, especially on the edges, because you don't want the edge to peel up. But, you know, if you don't feel secure in using any glue stick, you can always sew around it. And a lot of times I do. Like on my book pages, well, my book pages I didn't put glue all over them like this. When I made the book page tags, I just put enough glue, because I knew I was going to sew around them. So I just put enough glue on there to glue them together until I sewed on them. So I didn't put it all over. Okay, so I want these little puppies right in the middle. And so I think I was pretty much going to be able to put this edge over here. Let me see if I can line this up. So I picked out these wrapping papers because I thought I would, oh, I didn't give you an update on my journal. Did I? I don't think I did. I have it right here. I'll do that in a second. Let's make this tag. Because I have all the pages and I was going to give you a sneak peek at some of the fun things I added. But I have all the pages in there now. Working on it last night and this morning. And I have a lot of fun things in there. Okay. Little sliver of the file folder there that we can cut off. And let's cut this off with my scissors. Look at the back of this. This is normal wrapping paper, I would say. It's not thin and it's not thick. So like a medium weight wrapping paper. That flower one I showed you at first, that was thicker than this. It was pretty thick, and it had a grid on the back too. I don't know if that means it's better wrapping paper. I did notice that a lot of the times when I get grid wrapping paper that has a grid on the back, it does seem to be like really nice, thick wrapping paper. Okay, so this has got a little, what is going on here? It's almost like a little fraying of the folder or something. Okay. Now this side, I can see a little bit of file folder there, like just a little of that manila color. Let me see if I can cut the slightest sliver off here, like the smallest sliver in the world ever made. I don't know if that's possible. Actually, I think I've done it before. I'll show you. This is not the smallest sliver I've ever cut, but it's pretty small. I think I've cut one a little bit smaller than that. Okay, there we go. It's pretty much off. Here's a little bit more. Can't have that because I don't want to distress it. I would just normally distress it, but this is not a card that I want to distress, or a tag I want to distress. Okay, there we go. That should be it. Okay. There's a little line there where the fold was. Let me see if I can let me see if I can. Hey, remember guys, when I told you I found it. I think I told you I found it. It was in the dishwasher. It was in the, apparently I put it in the dishwasher. I think I told you, just in case you didn't see that video. I told you I lost my little glue spreader, and I thought I threw it out because it was too gluey, but I put it in the dishwasher and found it in a drawer where my husband didn't know what it was probably and what to do with it. So he threw it in a drawer in the kitchen when he was putting dishes away. Okay. It feels solid at the moment, but I will keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't come loose. But I got out some, let's put, I kind of, on these taller tags, I have an urge to just round the corners for some reason. Right, today. This is just, not all the time, just today for some reason. Something's telling me just to round the corners. Maybe. Maybe not. They are still drying. The glue's still drying. So, what do you? It's the weekend when I'm making this video. It'll be published today. I'm late on my video because I couldn't narrow down what I wanted to do. There were so many things I wanted to do today. I just couldn't narrow it down to do a video. So I finally decided wrapping paper is really what I wanted to do, and like the top of my mind, like, what do you really want to do? I wanted to do something with wrapping paper. I wanted to make some tags with wrapping paper. There's a little bit of paper right here at the top of this, like sticking over. Okay, and we're going to put a little bit of a ribbon at the top too. So it looks cute just like that. Of course, you could just leave it like that. But I got some, what color did I get for this? Yellow? Yellow, I guess. I figured red or yellow would go with this. Okay, so let's punch a hole. And, yeah, this feels fine. It feels solid. Doesn't feel like it's coming up. But, you know, what I would do if you want to experiment, and what I've done, is just do one, and with maybe you have two different glues you want to try. Glue piece of it down on some cardstock, and then let it sit for, you know, I would just say almost a couple weeks or 3 weeks or something. Like, let it sit for a long time, and then see if it comes loose. If it doesn't come loose in 2 or 3 weeks, then you're probably good. I would say you're good. Definitely. But whatever glue sticks after 3 weeks is, I would call it safe. But that's, you know, and then if you really, I mean, sometimes I just sew around things just to, for the looks of it, you know, for the stitching, just like the stitching. I don't mind it. I like sewing, so I like sewing on paper anyway. I didn't really like sewing on sewing clothing. It's a little tedious. Okay, cute. We got our puppies pretty much in the middle. We got a couple little flowers there. So that's another one. We got one with the puppies, one with the flowers, because we're using up these small pieces. So let's try one with the other wrapping paper that I pulled out. Oh, I pulled out 2 more wrapping papers. Yeah, I wish I could get so much more done in a video, you know what I mean? But just only so much you can do. All right, so this one is this one. I think I've used this before on a video, and y'all asked me about it, or some people asked me about it, and I got it at a thrift store, and that's all I know. You know, if you get things at a thrift store, you don't know where they came from usually, and you don't know where you can get more. So, but y'all love this. I think y'all loved this last time I used a piece of it. So let me see. It's bugs, in case you, let me show you. It's a really super cute bugs. It's so adorable. the little ladybugs and whatever, caterpillar, the beetle bug. I guess that's a bee. Super cute. Okay, so this end I've cut. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the camera probably. This end, have I cut this end? Oh no, it's just the way it's folded. I thought I cut it, but all right. So I'm going to cut this off here. Let's cut this fold off so I can use some of this end piece. And it's longer than 12 inches, so let me see how this folds. Let me do it like this so I can cut through all the end parts here and even this up so I don't. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I want to do one with this and then the other wrapping paper. See how these turn out. I'm hoping that I don't have, I mean, I think I can just cut off, you know, the next two I don't have to like be strategic about it. Did I cut off a piece? Well, not really. Guess I cut that piece off. Okay. But I need just a little piece here. Just a little piece. Because these are small scraps I'm using up here of file folder. So there we go. Okay. Now we've got it. But yeah, it's Saturday and we're going to my son's later for dinner, I guess it is. Late lunch, early dinner. And it's Survivor time again. If you watched my video when I was talking about Survivor before, it's new Survivor is out and running, so we are watching that together. So we usually play games or something, but we are watching Survivor right now when we get together. We're having like a little Survivor watch party. It really is fun if you've never done it. I mean, it's fun to watch it by with your husband or whatever. Maybe you have kids at home, and it's fun to watch it with your kids, I think. I mean, a lot of the people on there say I grew up watching Survivor with my dad, and I always wanted to be on it, type of thing. So, really is fun to watch with your kids. But anyway, our kids are grown, so we watch it. I mean, we had a Survivor party. We watched it with our kids when they were growing up, and we had a Survivor birthday party when my kids were young teenagers, and that was one of the most fun. Like, we did everything ourselves. We bought bandanas and for the divide up into teams, and had all kind of like Survivor games that we made up ourselves, kind of like Survivor would give you ideas for games you can make up. And I have two boys, so they enjoyed it, the Survivor party. And then recently my was my husband's or my boys', I guess it was my boys' birthday last year. Their birthdays are like one has a birthday 1 month, and then the very next month is the other one's birthday. So I think, if I remember right, either one or both of them, I don't know if it was combined or not, but anyway, one of them, I don't remember which one, had a Survivor birthday party last year. So so the tradition continues. But let's cut this out. I'm not paying attention to where the bugs are landing. I'm just going to make it a little easier and just cut it out and see what happens. Almost like a masterboard. Yeah, see? Super cute. Super cute. So there's a little piece of a sliver of a file folder at the top. Of course, I have to cut that off. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I need to run to out and get something. What do I need to get? Oh, I think I need to get some dessert to bring to my son's house. I didn't order it with my order because I ordered something, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's my problem. So I think I need to get something else to go with it. I think I'm going to make this one into a journaling card. I didn't want to make any journaling cards, but I think I'm going to anyway, so that means I'm going to round all the corners. I really need to let it dry for a minute though, because even though it's not wet glue, it's not dry. It's still kind of mushy, the glue stick. So let me let that dry for a minute, and we'll work on, let's see, I'd like to make a actual tag too. Let's make this one into a little bit thinner so that I can feel like it's a tag instead of a journaling card. There we go. Oh shoot. I've got, well, I can glue on this side is what I can do. Okay, that's what I'll do, because there's a piece of a label there left from when it was from my office. But it's not, it doesn't have any type or anything on it. It's just a piece of, little sliver of a label. But anyway, yeah, I need to run and get some dessert before we go over there. And I think I'm going to stop by, there's something I wanted to look at besides getting, I can't think of what it is. I'm going to have to write it down. You know how when you think of something that you need to do, but it's so simple, you're like, I don't need to write that down. I'll remember that. And then you go to remember it, and you're like, oh, what was that? I have no idea. Hopefully I think of it before I go out. But anyway, dessert. I know I do remember that. And I'm going to go by the thrift store, my favorite thrift store here. There's a Goodwill here too, but I probably won't go by the Goodwill today. My favorite thrift store here in my town is the Salvation Army. I've talked about it before. It's the best. It's one of the best thrift stores I've ever been to, and I know all Salvation Armies are different, and I mean Goodwills too. They're all, it depends on the manager and probably the area and things like that where it is. They're all different. But this Salvation Army, ever since this manager took it over, she just does a fantastic job, and it's just stuff full of good stuff and organized. So I love going in there. Even though I don't always buy something, I still love going in there and looking around. So I'll probably go in there today. And it's right on my way to the store too, or on my way home from the store to get the dessert. So that's what I got to do. Go to the thrift store before my son's house. And okay, so this one's a little different. The bugs are kind of cut off. So interesting, right? Let's make our little angles and just go with this one. But I might want to be more strategic. That just shows me I might want to be more strategic with this one. I thought maybe I could get away with not being strategic, but it looks like I do need to be a little bit more, watch where I place it. Because the bugs are just everywhere. I thought it would be okay, but I mean, it's okay, but not as good as it could be. Okay, so this one, we said yellow, which I didn't use on the other one because I ended up making it into a journaling card. So yeah, I think I am going to be a little bit more strategic with the bugs. This is still cute and it has lots of color in it, so I like that. And I will definitely be putting it into a journal. And you can write on the back. I'm about to put some new covering on my table here. I just kind of deciding what I want to do. Use the same thing or something different. So let's see. You'll see in my video. If you see something different, you'll know I've made up my mind. Okay, let's see if we can round the corners on this one now. I'll just try that one again. Yeah, that one worked. Yeah, now it's better, I think. Yeah, that one worked. Okie dokie. There we go. Not quite. Yeah, maybe it's not quite dry yet. I don't know. Oh, it is rounded. Okay, that one did work. Okay. All right, so now the other wrapping paper This is the third one or fourth one. I had the flowers done pretty much when I turned on the video. Then we did the puppies, then the bugs. And now this one has stars. And I have a few of these packages. But I thought this would be a good, you know, kind of brighter color that would go with this journal. And speaking of the journal, I said I would show it to you. So just 1 second. Let me show you where it's at, my progress. You already saw the outside. So I said I have all the pages done now. So lots of pages. There's at least 50 pages in here. Or 50 things that are, you know, you can turn. So that's what it looks like with all the pages. I haven't put any pockets or ephemera in here. There is a pocket. There is one pocket in a tuck spot just from folding the pages. But I'm not going to flip through all the pages. But here, like, here's a little card. Yeah, so I put fun things in here. Like besides full pages, I put fun things in here like that. So like then there's quite a few pages that fold out like this. And let's see, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to show every page right now, but just a little kind of sneak peek. Here's an envelope. I did put one of these sleeves in here with all the little pockets. This has 8 little pockets. And so there's 16 little things in here. So there's 8 on this side and 8 on this side. It's 2 layers. So that's fun. I cleaned out that drawer. I thought I only had like maybe 1 or 2 left, and I have about 6 of those left. So, and then I found another one, same type of thing at the thrift store. Just one, but I found one that I showed you in I think my last Thrifty Thursday. So, yep, that's where we're at. So, let's do this one, wrapping paper. Now, this for sure is not strategic. And so, let's cut this. Let's see how it's folded here. Let's cut this right here. This is the end piece. So we'll cut this little fold and we'll get a piece off here. But this is, you know, I got this at a thrift store. It's probably not vintage. I don't know. It's in a little, let's see. It's in this little package. Gift wrap. American Greetings. Does American Greetings still make paper folded like this? I don't know. If it doesn't, then this might be vintage. It might be just, you know, it doesn't look like old, so like some of the other papers, but it might be like 80s or 90s. So let's see. So we want this piece here. This was the end piece. And let me cut another little cut right here. So I do like to make pages with my wrapping paper too, but I usually, now this is a thinner wrapping paper too, so you can, this is the thinnest one I've used today. But no matter if it's thicker, I don't mind using it as a page, but if it's thinner, especially this thin as this one, I like to, you know, I like to add to it, like I can add some cardstock or something to it. So I think I'm going to put, let's put glue. I feel like I'm getting glue on here. And so let me grab a little something to protect. And it's really to protect this is a little pad from Dollar Tree. But it's really to protect this from not getting, like if I have glue on here, I don't want it to get all over here. So it's to protect my table, but it's also to protect what I'm working on from getting dirty or something, glue on it or anything. So my glue, let's get that going. And I want to make these into tag shape. So here's a tag shape. This has got a little, what is that? Oh, I want to make sure it wasn't a tear or something. And I want to make sure it's straight. It almost looks straight. I think it's okay, but this is a little wide for a tag because it's going to end up looking like a journaling card if I don't cut a little bit off of it. So there we go. That's more tag shape. Okay, so let's put glue on these two pieces. And then we're going to glue them onto the paper and cut them out. And I have a pretty topper here for it. I wanted to try, see how it looked with this paper. You know, a little something to put on the top. Okay. It's a little hard to get this. You know how it is working with this glue. It's a little hard to see how it leaves spaces. That's that's one difference. I mean, I guess if I press down harder, it wouldn't do that. I don't know. I'm afraid to press down too hard, though. But that's one thing about the other glue. It seems like the permanent glue, it seems like it covers like every inch better. Like when I go like that, it seems to be covering every inch. Now, is there glue there where it doesn't show purple? It's weird. That's what you got to make sure if you want to use this and not sew. You got to make sure it's everywhere, right? Yes. So sometimes if you've used this glue and you've had problems with it, maybe you just need to use more glue. Or maybe if I've had problems, maybe I need to use more glue. Not really talking to you, I'm talking to me. Maybe I need to use more glue. I think that's probably enough. The spots where it's white is where it's starting to dry. Because you know, you saw me, I've covered it all. Now I got glue on here, so now I don't want to use this because I'll turn it over for the second one. Let's put this down on here though. Let's see, I don't think I have to do it any which way. Let's do it this way. See, I still did end up getting some glue on there. You can see the purple, but it will dry, so it will be fine. But we'll turn that pad over and use the other side for the next piece of file folder. But it's kind of fun to glue. You know, you see your wrapping paper, but it kind of almost takes off it. You know, it's nice to see how it turns out when you cut it out and glue it down on something, and like on a tag or something, or even put it on a page. It's like, oh wow, that's really pretty. You know, you knew you liked it, but you like it even more when you do something with it, I think. So okay, let's put some glue on here. So I hope everybody had a good week. Had a good week, very busy at work. I wanted to do a video for today during the week, but I just didn't have time. Even in the morning, I've been trying to exercise in the morning too, so that adds to my. I know my camera's shaking because I'm doing this with the glue. So I'll try to go a little slower. But yeah, I've been trying to exercise in the morning. Not every morning. Like I probably should do it every morning, but I did 3 days this week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I think that's pretty good. And so yeah, so that takes up my time besides, you know, my normal morning routine. So the exercise kind of takes up my craft time in the morning. Darn it. Darn exercise. But, I mean, you know, gotta do it, right? Gotta exercise. You're supposed to. That's what the doctor says. That's what everybody says. Oh, it's true. It's good for you. Exercise. Good for everybody, I would say. That can do it. That can do it. If you can do it, you should do it, right? So, yeah. All right, so let's cut these out. I think I'm going to just cut these out with my scissors. Maybe that way I won't have any extra anything sticking out anywhere. I do it with my scissors. I'll see, you know, extra file folder, extra wrapping paper. Let's see how it works. And just trying not to cut into my file folder. I think I might have a little bit. Did I? It's all right. Oh, I'm drinking something different today. I watch videos about healthy things all the time and like what you should eat, what you should drink, you know, all exercise, all that kind of stuff. So I have got myself, well, it was one thing that was super good for you. Of course, they're not in season right now. Is pomegranates. I've never eaten a pomegranate. I've never bought a pomegranate. And they just look complicated, if you know what I mean. I've never bought it for crafting. You know, I know people like dry them and hang them and do things with them for I don't know, they do things with them at Christmas. But I've never bought one. And I don't know if I've ever even looked for one in the store. But anyway, I assume they're not in season because I didn't see one in the store. So I got pomegranate juice. I figured next best thing, pomegranate juice. And so I got some pomegranate juice, and I have some right here in my cup. So let me know in the comments if you've ever eaten a pomegranate or drank pomegranate juice, and did you like it? Like, I'm not a picky eater, you know, I'm not really a picky eater, or, you know, I'm not picky about drinking different things, but I don't drink a lot of different things anyway. I do water and coffee and a soda once in a while. Well, I got my pomegranate juice here in my coffee cup, and it's, I must say, a little weird tasting. It's organic. I don't know if that makes a difference. I didn't really mean to buy organic, but I guess maybe that's all they had. And let's see, I think I'm going to do this. It doesn't matter either way. Okay, so, but it's a little weird tasting when you drink it, when you take a drink. It's weird tasting. Not that I can't drink it. I mean, I think I can drink it just fine. It's not like something like, ooh, that's good, give me more, though. That's not like that. And it's got, like, when you swallow it after you take a drink, it's got, like, right away. Like, it goes away quickly, but at first, when you first take a drink and swallow it, it kind of has a little aftertaste. I don't know. It's kind of weird tasting. So, but we'll see. I may or may not buy it again. We'll see what I feel like as far as the health benefits, you know, type of thing. Whether it's worth buying again and putting myself through something that's not really that great tasting. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't not like it, but it's not really something I say I would want to go after if I didn't think it was really healthy for me. Okay. These are really cute. I like these. I like these a lot. These are really cute with these stars, aren't they? I think they're really cute. They're not vintage or anything as far as like real vintagey looking, but they're great for something like a little golden book journal, you know, or a little, you know, children's book that has bright colors and a lot of fun colors. So what I picked out for the topper, it's got white, silver, and blue, pretty simple colors. And I have, I looked for silver. I know I have gold ribbon, but I don't think I have any silver ribbon. Or if I do, it's somewhere else that I didn't find right now. So I just picked out, thought I'd try some of this right here. This silver string or string. But yeah, I thought this would be really cute on here. I have this in gold and silver. I think it's really pretty. It's a small, kind of thin topper, but I think it's really pretty. And you could tie it in a bow if you wanted to. Or you could, you could do this. Let's see, we'll try something with one of these at least. So you could do this. I think I'm going to do another wrapping paper crafting time, but with envelopes, so stay tuned for that, because I think we're out of time today. And so let's do one more thing with this, though. let's try putting a bow on here too. Oh, this was okay. So let's cut a good sized piece so we can have enough for a bow, and just tie a bow around here. See if we can do it. See if we can tie a bow around here. I think that would be cute. And that way it gives you a little bit more something, at the top here. There we go. That's cute. So you could do one or the other or both. Yeah, that is cute, isn't it? I like it. So I'll probably do that to this one too. But anyway, I think we used all the wrapping papers that I got out. So we did the puppies. We did the stars. We did the bugs. And we did, get this stuff out of the way. We did the flowers, except I did this before the video. And that's why there's so many. This one, I put a little, paper on here because I used a little wet glue under here, and it wrinkled my wrapping paper. So sad, right? But no, I just covered up with a little piece of ephemera that had the words on it here. Happy together, little butterfly, and super cute. So there's always ways to fix things. So I've got all the ribbons on here and everything. So yeah, I have quite a few actually wrapping paper tags here ready to go into this journal. And they probably won't go all into this journal, but you know what I mean. They're available for this journal, and so some of them will be in there. Thank you for watching today. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for my next video. Have a great day.